China is very good at thinking in the long term. They set out a plan, it might be decades in the making, and they will just get on with doing it. That's why things like sustainable energy, they're about to become able to fully sustain their electricity requirements based on sustainable energy, while we faff around over 1 or 2 wind farms. Things like railways, the number of railways built versus to Europe. Like if you're in Britain, you know we've been trying to build 1 railway for the last 10 years or so, more than that, and we can't manage that. In that same time, China's built thousands and thousands of kilometers of good railway too. But they're very good at putting out a plan. Oh, here we go. This is from the People's Republic of China. Length of high-speed rail connections in commercial operation by country. So China has 45,000 kilometers of high-speed rail. Japan has 3,000, so they overtook Japan's high-speed Shinkansen a long time ago. US, this is coming from the People's Republic of China's Facebook page, so let's take it with a pinch of salt, but their ability to plan and execute big scale projects far outstrips anyone in the West. Being able to deal with things like UBI, what does this artificial intelligence mean? I have more confidence in their ability to work that out than with our governments right now. China has every child learning and using AI. UK can barely open a folder. Yeah. So I was in Beijing last year. I used to live in Beijing. I speak Mandarin. And I went to my favorite bookshop in Beijing. And the front, when you go into a Waterstones, Barnes & Noble or whatever it is, they always have the bestsellers, the books that you should be reading at the front of the store. Went in, it was all DeepSeek books. It was all, here's how to use DeepSeek. Here's how to use DeepSeek for your work. Here's how to use DeepSeek for, your personal life. Just piles and piles of DeepSeek books. They were also at the counters. So it's like, oh, why don't you just pick up a quick DeepSeek book? They take it very seriously. And whilst I was there, I got lost I was looking for a particular hot pot restaurant. Couldn't find it on the map. I talked to an old lady, she's probably 70 or so. And I asked her for directions. And she had this thick Beijing accent, which I struggle with sometimes. It's very, it's a cool accent, but she had this thick accent. So I was having real trouble understanding her. And then she's like, okay, don't worry. And she pulled out a telephone and she didn't go to a translate app or anything. She went straight to DeepSeek and basically put in, hey, this young man is looking for this restaurant. Can you tell him where it is in English? And it translated. So this was a 70-year-old woman who was using DeepSeek just after it had come out as well. Because DeepSeek was 2025 early months. So they are adopting it very quickly. They are educating their children. They're proud of it as well. On the flight over to Beijing, I sat next to somebody and I was chatting to her, and she was from Hangzhou, which is where the home of DeepSeek. And she was proudly telling me about what DeepSeek had been doing. And she didn't work for them or anything. He was just very proud of the fact they were kind of a leading AI company. So it's very different from in the West, where we have a lot of people who are extremely scared of it for good reason. A lot of people who are skeptical, and a lot of people who are just burying their head in the sand. China's not doing that. China's on it because they realize that this is the technology that is going to matter moving forward. So we have to embrace it. If AI could do everything, will jobs survive? I know it's a basic question, but as I learn more, if AI can do everything, will jobs survive? No. No, we're not needed. That's the short answer. The question is whether AI can do everything. And right now it cannot, but it is improving very, very fast. And even if you are not a coder, it's worth paying attention to what's happening in coding, because that's where a lot of the efforts are being placed right now. So there's this idea of a jagged frontier. Let me put it up, a diagram. Jagged frontier in development, where AI is very good at some things and terrible at others. Part of the reason is the different efforts put into different areas. A lot of the efforts right now are being focused on making AI very good at coding, very good at programming. A couple of reasons why. One, the people building it are coders, they are programmers. This is what they know, so they're able to make these systems better. Two, making AI coding tools makes it easier to make better AIs in the future. So for example, Codex 5.3, the final version of Codex 5.3 was built using an early version of Codex 5.3. So we get this recursive self-learning loop. So a lot of effort are being put into programming and coding right now. That means that's where we're going to see the first impacts on joblessness and it being able to just take whole roles from people. It's basically the canary in the coal mine. So even if you're not a coder, it's well worth paying attention to what's happening in that sector, because that's going to be coming to other sectors later. It's just the attention of the AI companies has not been turned on the other industries yet. The other thing is they are betting on being able to improve the model until you have something close to AGI, artificial general intelligence, or maybe get AGI. then you can just turn that on the other industries and it will sort them out. So you spend all of your efforts in one industry, coding and programming. When you have a good enough model built with your previous models, then you set it on law, you set it on medicine, you set it on accountancy, and you have it solve for those industries one by one. So pay attention to what's happening there, even if you're not a coder. It's very, very important because it is a preview of what's going to happen in other industries later. Who's going to command AI and profit from it? Well, the corporations. It's going into the hands of 4 or 5 people who are going to profit from it immensely. This is also why Anthropic are trying to make this a China versus America thing. They want the support of the American government. They want a lot of money, defense money, flowing into their company. That's why we talked about this attack earlier, distillation attack from the Chinese. This will potentially end capitalism as we know it, or hyper concentrate it into 3 or 4 companies, maybe 1. It might be winner takes all. It might be that Google just sucks everything else up. We're in a precarious position, let's put it that way.